Hello Striders! Welcome to the first edition of Striders Revealed, and I'm really pleased to welcome our very own Martin Craddock.
Hello, Striders.
So Martin, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling really great, thank you very much, Ray. It was a bit of a day yesterday that's left my body feeling a bit broken. I happened to do the Beachy Head Marathon yesterday on the back of zero hills training, and it was an impulsive thing. On Friday morning I thought I'll sign up for it, and guess what? I'm now paying the consequences.
How long did it take you?
It took me 5 hours 52 minutes.
Okay, so you broke the sub 6 hour mark.
Smashed it.
Was that, were you thinking about that as you were coming over the Seven Sisters at Beachy Head, or were you just surviving?
I was thinking about a lot of things. I was coming over the Seven Sisters. I was thinking, could I get the bus? Could my wife come and pick me up? Is that hot tub going to be at 40 degrees when I get back? But then I was looking at everybody else around me, and I was thinking, everyone's suffering. Everyone's suffering. Pull yourself together and just finish it. And I did. So I'm really pleased with that.
Well done to you for finishing. I thought you looked quite good when I saw you at XC, but I knew you hadn't done any training, so I knew you were going to suffer.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Ray.
I wish I was at Berlin Gap, actually. That would have been much more fun seeing you there.
Probably would have been much more fun seeing me there. There was a really nice aid station just after Berlin Gap, where they had the beautiful fun-sized Snicker bars, and that was...
Is that the one in the trees?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect one.
Yeah, is that an official one? Or
I think so.
I think so, yeah. They never used to have that one there. They always used to be at Berlin Gap.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, so you don't expect it, do you?
No.
So, yeah. Nice. Anyway, so you're kind of used to this this interview thing, haven't you? You've been on telly a bit recently, haven't you? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
In the last few months through my work, we have been focusing on promoting what we do as an organisation, my work. So I run a charity in London called United St Saviour's Charity, and we do a variety of things within the London Borough of Southwark. But in the last few months, we've got a very high profile in that we've built a new sheltered housing development called Appleby Blue Arms House that's gained a lot of international exposure, and we've had lots of TV interviews and radio interviews, just because it's become seen as a new benchmark in sheltered housing for older people who live in social housing in the inner cities. So yes, I've had a little bit of practice in doing these sort of interviews now.
Excellent. So how long have you worked for that, your charity? You're the man at the top, aren't you?
I am the CEO.
Yeah.
I've been there 10.5 years now. So I saw this building through from its initial conception right through to completion. And now it's fully occupied by lots of very lovely people from that local area.
And it's received an award recently. Yeah.
We have received a number of accolades over the last couple of years, but the one which gives you the greatest sense of pride is the fact the building won the Sterling Prize for Architecture 2025, which is really the highest accolade for architecture in the country. It was what it really shows you that the building is being used for the purposes of what it was designed for, which is just improving the lives and the health and well-being of older people, and it's just set a completely new benchmark for the future. We have so many people coming now to see it from around the world. Got an email today saying somebody from Number 10 wants to come and see it in November. I don't know who it's going to be, but it is quite amazing, and to win the Sterling Prize is something that we've been really hoping we would sort of at least be nominated for the last year, and it's great. The team has worked really hard. The architect is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I saw you on is it Good Morning TV? I don't know what they call it now.
Breakfast TV.
Breakfast TV.
I was on the BBC sofa.
Yeah, I mean, I barely recognised you. I mean, makeup's an amazing thing, isn't it? Yeah, I thought, who's that ravishingly good-looking man there? And it was Martin. I thought, wow. So
I think it's because you saw me in a suit and a tie for the first
yeah,
time,
yeah,
probably,
you
whatever it was.
you're looking very, very dapper. I thought, yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So incredible. Right, let me just move on to the next question. You're a little bit of a foodie, I hear. You like good restaurants and good wine and good coffee. What's your favourite food or favourite restaurants?
Well, I've always liked food. I've always wanted to be a chef, and I did become a chef for a while in my younger years, and I started off all my career in the food industry. But in terms of my favourite food, I mean, I don't really have a favourite food. What I am still trying to do is track down the world's best beef rendang, which is a Malaysian curry. And the best I've found so far is in Singapore. And I've tried some in London, and there have been some pretty good beef rendangs there. Haven't found anything quite yet.
So what is a beef rendang?
It's a beef curry, but it's sort of coconutty, lemongrass, Thai basil. It's just a really rich, beautiful.
So how do you know
rendang.
when you've got that?
I don't know. You can have it. I mean, you can have it as part of this dish called a nasi lemak, where you have a piece of rendang, a piece of rice, some ikan bilis, which is this deep fried dried anchovies, and some tomatoes and cucumber and some peanuts on the side.
Yeah,
And you know when you've got it, you just know that you've hit the mark.
excellent.
But in terms of other things, wine, maybe so. I do a bit of home brewing. I'm about to set up a brew for Christmas, which is going to be a milk stout and a hazy IPA, which I'm sure I'll be sharing amongst my friends and family over the Christmas period.
Lovely. So Martin, you're an active member of the club. You turn out quite regularly for race events. Obviously, you live in London during the week, so you can't make club nights. There's probably a few members that have never even heard of you in the club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your where you were born. Have you always lived in Seaford? What you do with your spare time, and little tidbits like that.
Okay, well, I was born 55 years ago, nearly the same as you, Ray. And I grew up.
You're older than me. You are, aren't you? Yeah, you're a year older. So
Am I?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I grew up in Seaford. My parents moved down here when I was about 6 months old, and had a very happy childhood. Grew up, and I went to Chinkton Primary School, and then at the age of 7, things changed in my family. My father had a catastrophic car accident, left him disabled and brain damaged for his life, which meant that my time at Chinkton came to an end, and I went off to a school. I was sent to a boarding school elsewhere in Sussex, paid for by a charity. Ended up at Christ Hospital School, where you dress up in Tudor outfits all the time, yellow socks and breeches. And then after that, so I used to come home in school holidays. And I used to have jobs in Seaford. My mum brought us up alone, by herself, and really, that was my childhood. It was sort of caught between here and school. So Seaford is my hometown. When I went to university, age of 18, I never really came home after that, and then I found myself living in London, following a job up there. And it was only in 2019, when our kids had grown up, that we thought we needed somewhere to come at the weekends, because one of my sons is severely autistic. We need somewhere to just get away from London at the weekends, and so we bought a place by the beach, and it's just been fantastic. And it's just been an amazing experience to get to know Seaford again, find friends in a completely new place at a very late sort of part of your life, really. I mean, I'm only middle-aged. But before then, I've been, and when I was in London, I was busy with bringing up my kids, busy with my job. I used to enjoy cycling, I used to play rugby, but never really sort of was into running. So coming to Seaford's been a real revelation, really.
Good. How long have you been into running then? Or any sport for that matter?
I've been into sport ever really since I was at school, and I played rugby at school and after school until I got injured in my 30s and stopped playing rugby. Then probably in my late 30s I took up cycling and was really avid road cyclist.
You've done a few long distance
I've done some very long cycle rides. I've done sort of Bordeaux to Paris, Manchester to London, and London, Seaford, London, that type of thing.
So you were cycling before you did running, yeah?
Very much so. It's a sport I still really enjoy. I haven't done a lot in the last few years, but it's I've got far too many bikes than I probably ought to have. I think we're up to over a dozen now, but thankfully I've got 2 places to store them, so my wife doesn't mind too much. So running, I sort of took up probably about 2015. I had a really bad cycling accident and I broke my back in quite a few places in 2015. And as I was lying in King's Hospital feeling very sorry for myself, I decided that I was going to run my first marathon, so I signed up for the Brighton Marathon. In all the I did train for that one, and sort of found my running feet as such, and I did lots of running that year. I went for a medal a month and did some half marathons and lots of 10Ks that year, and really enjoyed it.
And when did you join the club?
I joined the club in 2020. So I just moved to Seaford and I was doing park run, and I heard the park run director talk about this woman called Sam Alvarez who was doing the Land's End John O'Groats virtual run, and said if you see her, give her a cheer. And because she was starting down the end of the beach by Splash Point, I just went down there and I said, hello, if you ever want someone to run with, I'll run with you. And so got to know her that way, and she said after a few times going with her, she said, you've got to join the club. So that's when I joined.
I think that's when I met you. Probably on one of those runs. I do believe. What's your favourite day in the last 12 months? Yesterday?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's one of the pinnacles of my career was the night when we won the Stirling Prize.
Absolutely,
so it was just over a week ago now at the Camden Roundhouse, and we'd already won 2 awards that night, the Best Social Housing and the Client of the Year, and we thought nothing's ever going to. That's it. We've won enough. Somebody else will get it. We thought Big Ben were going to win it, and then when they actually announced us, that's been the best day probably for the last 10 years.
Was everyone there? Is it like a bit of a competitive environment of who's going to win it, or just
all the other
everyone's very respectful and
I think the architecture trade are a really lovely bunch. They're very respectful. They understand each other's work, and I think it was a really popular choice. What we did, there was people can really see the value of it, and actually when the judges who judged the Stirling Prize, they said that when they went round to see the other nominees, they were all asking, have you been to see Appleby Blue yet?
Yeah.
They said it was fantastic. So I think everybody realised, everyone recognised it wasn't an unpopular choice.
Back to running. What about from a running point of view? What's been your best sporting moment, personal sporting moment?
My best sporting moment running, I think, probably will be when I went under 4 hours for the first time in a marathon last December in Malaga.
Of course, yeah.
I did put a lot of training in for that. It's a beautiful time of year in Malaga, just before Christmas, and I was thrilled to do that.
Yeah, I saw your celebration pictures quite soon after the event as well.
We did hit. There's this beautiful old, sort of hundreds-of-year-old sherry bar in Malaga, where you just pour the sherry straight out of these huge barrels, and they and they mark up how much you've got to pay in chalk on a very old wooden bar, and that's it, and you're away, and you just so the beautiful mixture of paracetamol, Nurofen, and sherry is a really wonderful mixture.
You were with Russell, I do believe.
I was with Russell, and
Yeah.
we're going out again this year. But this time I've only signed up for the half marathon because I think Malaga's is a lovely city, and if you do a marathon, you can't really enjoy it before the race.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy it a little bit more before the race.
Yeah. Cool. Black Striders running vest or blue Striders running vest?
I think it's always got to be black Striders running vest, black anything, because it
Yeah.
hides so many sins.
Do you know, I can't. You were wearing blue yesterday, though, weren't you? Yeah. So.
Didn't look good.
Yeah, I prefer black. I think.
Yeah.
So. And Striders group photos. What do you think of them then, compared to other running?
I think the popped knee look is now become a de rigueur. You have to do it
Yeah.
all the time. But I also have learned you have to position yourself. When you have a rugby player's physique like me, you have to position yourself in that group well, because you can look slightly a bit more like a rugby player. So
Yeah.
I try and avoid staying next to people like you. But I quite like them. You're quite lean.
I've noticed a lot of the women they don't like the edges or something because it make the lenses make it look wider or something like that.
I just look wide,
Yeah.
so I'm fine. So I just tend to go at the back, and you can often just see my little face poking over some 6-footer's shoulder as I'm on tiptoes.
Yeah. Okay. There's some great club members who work really hard behind the scenes and all that. But who do you most admire in the club?
In the club, I most admire those people who do work behind the scenes, actually. I think, I volunteer on various boards, and I know how hard it is to run organisations and actually, stay passionate and true to it. And I think Victoria Molesky is fantastic, what she's done for the club over the last few years. She's created a culture and a vibe that is really, really amazing. I know she must do so much work for it. There were times, I don't know if she's still doing it, but she used to give Strava kudos to everyone who had done a run every single day. And that just really builds a huge amount of love in the club. But there are so many other people who do so much. I think there's Josh Nisbet, who runs the cross country. You've got Karen Feast, who does the account, who's treasurer. There's yourself and Joe, who do the newsletter. Adam, who does socials. There's a huge amount of people who I admire for that type of work. I mean, the people in the club who do just amazing runs, I mean, they're just far too many to mention. You've got people who are our age who are running phenomenal times, whether they're men or women, and they're just young people as well. So it's an incredible club.
Yeah, it's very hard to differentiate, isn't it, between the different ages within the club, isn't it? I mean, it's not, we've got so many. Sandra, for example, over Beachy Head today, age, I'm not sure how old she is now. She's 76, I think. So
it is amazing. If you come to a club like Seaford, I mean, I've run with clubs in London, and the average age is so much lower than Seaford. And of course, you go there and you actually think you're running really well for someone your age, and then all these people start talking to you about how hard they're finding it to run because they're having to bring up their children and they're struggling to find time. And I'm going, been there, done that. It's quite funny, really. But you come down here, you come to Seaford, and you're running at my age, and I'm distinctly average for my age.
And to the last question,
yes,
which is you don't know anything about, in an alternative universe where everyone in the club is single, who would you choose to take out on a romantic dinner date?
That's a horrible question. This is going on YouTube.
Oh wow!
Who would
We've got to make it
romantic?
We've got to make it slightly
dinner
watchable, haven't we?
Who would I? That's shocking. I think I'd have to take my two.
This is a hypothetical.
It's fine.
Alternative
It's fine.
universe,
I'm comfortable. I think. Can you be romantic with two people at the same time?
Well, if that's your thing. Actually, two people.
My two really.
It's usually only two people.
My
isn't
two
it?
people who I've become really close to in the last few years is Russell and Sam, and I'd take them out for a romantic dinner because one, they deserve a romantic dinner to be paid for by somebody else, particularly after all the mud I got over the back of their car yesterday when I suffered a huge cramp episode in the back of the car. But I just think they'll be those two are lovely and they're really good friends and we really gel.
Great, Martin. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ray. Good luck with your interviews because you're going to need them.
Right. I think.